All right, so a little bit different of a view here, but we've still got our pal the Mandalorian by our side. So what I want to show you now is inside of Final Cut, how I arrange a little bit of the video editing. So this is the Final Cut session that I'm in for the song right now. You can see it's 6 hours long because here is the entire season, essentially, if we zoom in. I've got chapter 1 and all of my favorite parts from chapter 1 chopped out. If we kind of scroll through here, you can see I take little bits and pieces of the episode, or they get the IG suit, or where they're talking to IG, and so on. All of my favorite moments, or like the action-y moments. The funny thing is I thought I was going to use a lot of this scene here with Bo-Katan and Din meeting up with Bo, but that didn't necessarily happen in the video edit. But there's obviously a lot of cool, him zooming in there, a lot of cool scenes. That's just within the first episode or so. So I've gone through the entire season and basically just super cut, all the parts I like out of it. You can see there's all these big gaps, but then in Final Cut, what I'll do is I'll copy, these giant regions here of the supercut, and I'll paste them down here in the main timeline, and then you can get rid of all the gaps. And then I'll do one more round of supercutting the supercut, essentially. So down here on the main timeline is all the scenes I cut out of the episodes. And then right above that are the scenes that I've cut out of the scenes that I've cut out from the episodes. So I do kind of like 2 layers of trimming. And I think that's what's over here. This is like our supercut of the entire season. And you can see underneath that, I've also got a version of the song playing. So I can listen to the song, watch some of the footage, and that can help find random scenes that line up. Of course, there's always lyrics that I'm matching up particular scenes with. But if I'm just kind of struggling for I need something to fill this musical interlude spot, or the lyrics are The Mandalorian, what makes The Mandalorian, over and over again, I have to find some kind of material to fill that space, obviously. So I can kind of just jump through, scene by scene here and see what works, play along. This scene with the hammer was an interesting one to try and work on. I didn't end up using any of these either. These all kind of move too slowly. But you can get a vibe for how they work there. And then, of course, we shrink back finally to the very beginning of the session. Here is the whole kit and caboodle, right? Where you took the creed and believe this is the way. All of your life you've been both hunted. This is the actual edit. And I'm pretty close to wrapping it up, as I've mentioned before. So you can see all these edits here. I try to go every 2 to 4 beats, changing a new scene. I try not to go a whole measure without a real long scene like this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, scene change. So about every measure, I do a scene change unless there's some kind of special action sequence or it just doesn't line up perfectly. Now, what's really interesting is above that, man, let me shrink this in. Can you see all of this extra stuff here? These are all the other, alternative scenes and edits that I've tried to fit for these parts of the songs. Through the whole thing, I've tried out different, montages, different sections of storyline, different plots, done a lot of alternate takes, essentially, to go along with the song. Now, I mentioned earlier, once I dropped the last episode in, I kind of shuffled all the plot lines backwards or forwards. You got chorus 1, chorus 2, chorus 3, so you can use kind of different arcs from the show to fill in those different sections of time. And again, since the chorus is so vague, what makes The Mandalorian, you could almost put any footage there and it's going to work. But the last chorus, before the season finale came out, the last chorus had scenes from the second to last episode. So it doesn't play quite as seamlessly from start to finish. The song, more or less, is a recap of season 3. Now, I did think about using footage from season 1 and season 2, which I think would make the video edit even stronger. But really, this is the season 3 song. I kind of like having a song for this era of the show. And at some point, maybe I will go back and write a Mandalorian theme song or a Din Djarin theme song that uses scenes from everything. Maybe the same thing with Grogu, especially now that Grogu's had Jedi training. There's so much more material there to do an overarching song about that character rather than just season 3. Which The Mandalorian song in season 3 of The Mandalorian, that seems to be one and the same thematically with me, that we're talking about the people, The Mandalorian. So it's all season 3 stuff. So that's how the story kind of plays through the song. Now you get an idea for what it looks like on my side. I mean, it looks like chaos, right? It certainly is. Look how many cuts you got to make every 4 bars, for a 2-minute song, and all the different iterations we try out. And of course, the lyrics as well, which I take a lot of time in putting that in. Some people seem to appreciate that. Makes for a lyric video. If it's hard to hear what I'm saying, which I try to make it easy to hear what I'm saying, but if you don't know what I'm saying, the lyrics are certainly there for you. Okay, so I guess that's going to wrap that up for this. Hopefully it came out well. I've never done the broadcast here, the OBS recording on my MacBook here, so this is also brand new. We'll see if that works. And hopefully there wasn't too much glare on my goofy glasses here. Hopefully this chit chat got my voice warmed up and we can do some vocals for this ad-libbed third chorus, print down the song, and we'll call it a day. See you in a bit.